Hello, mining and crypto community. How is everybody doing tonight? Max Voltage here. And today, got home from work, checked my Discord messages, found a friend of mine saying, hey, I just plugged in a Helium miner and the transmit scale is 0.5. What can I do? And I said, well, let me take a look. And so I looked at the example and I thought it was an excellent example to go over live of exactly what I would do in this situation. And obviously not everybody is in this situation, but this one is a very obvious example of what to do. So let's get into it. So, and at the end of this, let's raid Teaspoon Miner his stream, but so don't let me forget to do that. Make sure, give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I have it on, should be pretty quick since, yep, cool. Thank you. And actually, let's do a roll call. Thanks for everybody for showing up. I know that this was a surprise live stream, so I didn't expect a whole bunch of people here, but Y2K Anonymous, appreciate you being here. Jeffrey Harrison, Integra Guy 041, Red Llama Crypto, Yashnik, Crypto Dave. Again, thank you guys. Ahmed Ali, Sox fan. Yeah, sorry I couldn't refer you to a tax guy, Sox fan. And hey, Red Fox, thanks, guy. Appreciate you being here. Alrighty, well, let's get right into it. So the person's hotspot is right here. And when you actually put the hotspot into Hotspotty, which is what I'm using, Hotspotty is a great application when you're trying to figure out location, the best location for your hotspot. So let's zoom in. And as you zoom in, you're going to see that there's an area highlighted. And what it's doing is it's giving you the smallest resolution or the highest number resolution that where you can improve things. And if you scroll down here, I've got it on the reward scaling tab. And when you scroll down, it tells you what your transmit scale is, 0.5. Now, this isn't always perfect, I found, but it's a good thing to look at when you are trying to figure out how to improve your scale. Even if it's not perfect, you'll still get a really good idea of where to move your hotspot to in order to get a better transmit scale. In this case, it matches perfectly. So you can see his resolution 8 is the only thing that is keeping his hotspot scaled below 1. So you can see from looking at this, he's pretty close to the edge of his resolution 8. So my first initial thought is to just reassert the location to outside this resolution 8 and into this resolution 8 over here. And I would try to just draw a straight line here because I'm not sure if I think this is accurate, but why take the chance? Just draw the straight line, draw the straight line for the hex and put your hotspot out here, reassert the location out here. But before I do that, let's look at some of the other resolutions to see, okay, are there any others that would be affected? Now, considering we're looking at this and okay, so there's a couple up here. Okay. But there aren't a lot. So you're going to be pretty reassured that most likely if we just move this outside of resolution 8, the person's going to get the resolution, the transmit scale to 1. But again, let's take a look at the other ones because this can also be very important. So let's take a look at resolution 7. So resolution 7, you can see there's nobody in any of the surrounding areas. So let's zoom in. And lo and behold, the edge of the resolution 7 matches the resolution 8. So while there's plenty of locations available, more hotspots that can go in to this resolution 7, it'd be better if he was up here because then he's still the single hotspot in this resolution 7. Let me back out and you can see there is not a single hotspot in this resolution 7 of this area F. So again, another great reason to be locating to the northeast. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, let's take a look at resolution F. There's quite a bit of open space in resolution F. You can see, yeah, there's houses here, houses here, houses here, and houses here, but there's a lot of open space, which means you think about it, there's going to be less miners, helium hotspots in this, in that location. Now you look at this one, I guess this has a lot of open space as well. They're probably about equivalent. Again, I'm looking at this somewhat fresh. I looked at it briefly before I went live, but anyway, point being is that you move up here and now you're the only one in resolution 7 and in resolution 8. So you're going to get your hotspot back to a transmit scale of 1. Now let's go back and scroll back down here and you can see resolution 8, 1 too many. In other words, there's only supposed to be 1 in that resolution 8. Resolution 7, there's 4 available, meaning that you could fit 4 more, a total of 6 in resolution 7 and still be at that transmit scale of 1. But would you rather have 5 available or 4 available? I'd rather have more available. And that way you're going to last a little bit longer without having your transmit scale affected. Now you go to resolution 6. This is where you kind of can't really do too much about it. I mean, to move your location way over here, yeah, you're taking a serious risk because there are things in the Helium network where they try to identify when somebody is not located where they're supposed to be. And in this particular case, I'll actually show where the location, where I would locate the hotspot or reassert the location of the hotspot. And you'll see it's not very far away. It's about about 250 meters basically. But anyway, so in this particular case, there's really not much you can do about reasserting your location over to here. That's going to be really just too far away. That's, I think, going to be about 2 kilometers. But I will, I'll look at that. In fact, let me take a look to see where that is. Okay. So it's between here and here. Okay. I'll be able to look to see how far that would be to reassert all the way over here. But again, in the short term, would not matter at all. All right. And then resolution 5. Go back. Resolution 5. Again, there's 90 available. Actually, that would put you in a different resolution 5. That resolution 5 and resolution 6 actually have the same boundary. And there's nobody in this resolution 5. So we'll take a look to see what that distance is and see if it might be worth it to maybe attempt to put the hotspot over here, see how far that is. To me, I'm just eyeing it. I think it's probably somewhere between a kilometer or 2, and that would be, to me, a little risky. Alrighty, well, let's get back to the first one. And let me just double check that I know where I want to. Yeah, it would be over here is where I would want to try to see how far away that is. So let's take a look to see how far away that is. So actually within this app, you can actually go down here and say edit placement. Now this doesn't actually edit the placement. It's just an example. You're putting it there to see what your transmit scale would be if you moved it to that location. That's all. So let's click edit placement. And now we're going to edit the placement. Now I want to see how far away this location is over here. Yeah, see, that's like a kilometer and a half. To me, that would just be too far away because I think in the short term, it might be really hard for them to figure it out. Because if you look at the, oh, don't worry, I'll move that back. if you look, there's not really going to be anybody around to say, oh, okay, the signal to noise ratio, which is what they're using to measure whether somebody is spoofing, should we say, or not. It's going to be hard for them to identify. Now, in this case, because you're going so much farther away, if they did a comparison, maybe. But anyway, it kind of defeats the purpose of the network as well.